Hi, everyone. I'm your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, you guys, we're back. We're back. Amashae is in the building. Yes, Amashae is in the building.
Y'all. How y'all doing?
Yes, yes, my girl is back. And before we jump into our commentary about the SWV and XSCAPE, the Queens of R&B episode 3, I need for you guys to like, share, and subscribe to The Mix. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to go ahead and play a clip as well in regards to the meeting that just some clips from the episode 3, actually episode 4. This is episode 4. So I'm going to play some clips from episode 4, and Amashae and I will be diving into some more commentary and discussion on this subject matter. Again, I need for you all to like, share, subscribe to The Mix, like, share, subscribe to my channel. Okay, Amashae, how you doing this evening? You want to say something to the people?
I'm good. I really don't have nothing else to add. Like, share, subscribe.
And drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. And I think this is season 1, episode 4. Yeah, this is episode 4, you guys. So I'm getting my episodes kind of confused. I want to just share a snippet of the audio. This particular audio is going to be about CoCo and her son, their relationship. And I think he decided not to go to dentistry school. So we're going to play a clip and then jump into our discussion and commentary on this matter. Hope you guys are having a good day today as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Okay, here we go.
I was talking to Mom, and I was pretty much just letting her know I didn't want to go to school. It's just not really my thing. You're not old enough to know what your thing is. 17. I just don't feel like I should be doing something that I don't want to do. You just want to do it. Right, that's what I'm saying. He wanted to do it. Now all of a sudden he doesn't want to do it. He just started singing yesterday. Now he wants to stop to go sing. If I don't want to do something, wow, I don't feel like I should be forced to do something. Oh, Jalen. Mommy, he's crying. Well, we need to come and sit about that. So, talk. How about I just take a year off, see where I go from there, and decide after that year? That sounds like a good plan. Dang, you need to do this with me when I want to do things. I'm being punked. Like, you are not the...
Okay. Amashae, you didn't hear that?
Yeah, it was in and out.
Oh.
But I heard it. I watched that part already, so I can understand what's going on.
Okay.
But yeah, the audio was in and out.
Okay, well, that's pretty much the gist of that. So what are your thoughts to that? Do you think that because pretty much the grandmother ended up sort of siding with Jay, because Jay came back around and basically stated that he was just going to take a year off and give it a try. And so the grandmother basically subscribed to that, stating
she supported that.
Yeah. So CoCo was taken aback, like, what? Like, when I was, but we all know when it comes to grandparents and grandkids, the relationship is different. The dynamics is different as opposed to the grandmother raising their own child.
Right.
So what are your thoughts about that?
You also got to think about the day and time and then the situation. When CoCo was growing up, it was a totally different era. Times were different. Circumstances were definitely different. There was no wiggle room when she was growing up to have that decision to say what I am and I'm not going to do. Her mother was a single parent, a breadwinner. She wasn't CoCo. She didn't have the money, didn't have the funds, CoCo's son has been blessed to be born into a family where his mother is doing well for herself. You know, he wants to take a chance on his dream, which I kind of support, but he needs to have a plan. You know, your dream and you taking a chance on yourself cannot mean that I'm gonna have to take care of you all your life because your plan and your dream didn't work out. At some point, he's gonna have to be grown and be accountable for his actions and be able to support himself.
Right, and I believe CoCo too, and I mean, I want to interject really quickly. CoCo basically stated too, like, be multifaceted, you know, like do both, you know, let that be your side thing until something jump off, but continue with your education. And I do agree with CoCo in that, but I think we're living now, and to touch on what you're stating, like a different day and age, especially with young adults around his age, 19,
and
20,
opportunities
21.
are different. And
absolutely,
in this day and age, he should be able to multitask. He should be able to work, go to school, and do his singing or whatever. You know, it's all on what the time you put in. Everything is hard work. A lot of these kids, especially when they're born with when they're affluent, you know, born into an affluent family, they miss the lesson of working hard, being uncomfortable, doing stuff you don't want to do. We've all had to do a job and things that we didn't want to do, we didn't like to do, or we didn't care to do, but we had to do it. This generation has too many options. They really don't have to do it because mom has it. Mom's gonna do it for me. Mom's gonna help me.
Mom's the plan B.
Right. Or mom's the plan A. Mom's the plan A, and they dreams the plan B.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Because my mother has money, so I can do what I want to do.
Connections, money. She, you know, we're that. Yeah.
In the beginning of the scene, he asked her for a
Balenciaga
bag.
Right.
And she like, you could buy it yourself. And that hit him crazy. He like, wait, what? Yeah, it's gonna take money.
Entitlement.
Right, hopefully singing and dancing or whatever you're gonna do is gonna get you enough money to buy you that bag.
Right.
Other than that, don't buy it with my money.
Right. It seems like kids in his age group, young adults, I kind of call them kids still because it just seems like they operate in that fashion mentally and character-wise. It's like, okay, where's the responsibility and accountability? You are a young adult, but you're acting like a child. But nevertheless,
that's all on the values that were instilled to them by their parents.
I wouldn't say that.
I would.
I beg to differ simply because sometimes in some sense you can't, as a parent, we only can do so much. You can raise the child. And actually, to speak to that situation, the reason why Jay, it seemed like the grandmother kind of raised him.
And again, it all depends on, it goes back into what I just said. It all depends on how you were raised.
The dynamic.
You know, when you give them options, they'll take an option. So it's just like you raising a child and saying, well, you don't have to go to school, it's optional. You know, you don't have to go to grammar school, you don't have to go to high school, it's optional. You know, no, but in this society, we raise our kids, especially the most of us do raise our kids, that it is mandatory that you go to grammar school and high school, and college is maybe optional, you know, but some kids who didn't have an option not to go to college, guess what? They went to college. They might not have done well at it, but they didn't have an option not to go. When you give a kid an option, they're going to take the option.
Right. In this situation, I think that considering the dynamics, and I'm on the outside looking in, obviously, and I'm speaking from a subjective perspective or whatever, opinionated perspective, I just think that CoCo did the best she could, considering the circumstances. And I wasn't inside their household, but I do believe that for him to even be in college, even at this stage, just I think a year so far, to even have initiated, because she did state too, like he gets great grades and this and that, like that's a plus. So something.
He also alluded to his grandmother being the force behind that, though. That's what she pushed. That's how she raised him. That's what she put in him. They were happy that he were doing well in school. They were happy that his grades were okay. He just took this sudden turn, and that's what CoCo's like apprehension is about. Like, man, what happened? You was loving it. You were doing good in it. You were getting good grades. What happened?
I think he was doing it more for them. I can just
he could have been. He could have been.
That's just the energy I'm getting. Like, I'm gonna do this. He probably already had it planned, and now I'm gonna do a year. Let me just give him a year. You know, let me revisit this.
But it's like as he matured, he figured
and then
out
too, social media. You know, because you see him singing in front. Yeah, you seeing everything happening on social media.
Right.
These kids are exposed to a lot of that. That's why I say too, it's it's a different dynamics now, and these young adults, they're exposed to that. So far as like having a strong household foundation wise, if it's not, or if it's not supported by all parties involved in some way, shape, or form, the kid can deviate from the plan. It's like, because look at social media, it's like appealing, it's attracting, it's the fast get money, get rich quick scheme, and it's you do a TikTok and sing this way, before you know you got millions of followers, you're going viral, and you getting that Balenciaga bag or contract, so it's like, I think a lot of technology has exposed the young adults to a different mindset, which seems to kind of, especially if you allow your kids to be on social media at a certain age, it kind of is trumping that. You're right, absolutely right, because the parents,
giving them an option to do what I said do or not. As long as you give them an option, they're going to take an option.
Yeah, but
if he wasn't in a position, say his mother wasn't CoCo, she wasn't affluent, and he had to work or they won't eat. Guess what? He want to eat, right? He gonna work. That's not an option for him to now not work, not eat, and pursue my dream. You understand? He don't have that. He wouldn't have that option. He has that option now, so he's gonna take the option. He's gonna do what all kids gonna do. They're gonna take the option. They're gonna take the easy route. They're gonna take that option because I can.
But that
it's not life or death.
That route and that decision for CoCo wasn't the same though. It was like a do or die situation. Era. Right. And that's what I'm saying too, like the dynamics of the culture that we're living in nowadays, when it comes to technology, social media, it seems like it's having a strong influence in households.
I know a lot of parents that don't let their kids engage, and their kids are well behaved, or they behave differently than what we see on social media. And it's, again, what they're allowed to do. As a kid, a kid should be a kid.
I think statistic wise, it's probably a small pool.
I mean, we're not talking about statistics though. We're talking about,
I'm just saying, I believe it's a small pool. You might know that, but I beg to differ from a macro level.
It's always subjective. It's always subjective. It all depends on what's going on in your individual household. The fact, the illusion that everybody's household is the same is an illusion. The illusion that, I can do what everybody else gonna do, that's an illusion. That's not even real life. That's why a lot of these kids get set up for failure, because they see, Tim and them doing it. Well, I'm gonna try it. And you don't have the same success or outcome as Tim and them. You didn't even start off in the same spot as Tim and them, because you didn't know what other factors in their life pushed them to that point, But Tim and them found their way through the options that they had, or lack thereof. You ever notice some people grind is harder than others? Because some people have to.
Yeah.
And some people don't.
That could be, I mean, I hear your point. I see your point. But that could be, it's just different scenarios, different. Yeah, I just wouldn't say that it's primarily situations like that. For example, the people that I wouldn't say in the people that I may know, or CoCo's situation, I wouldn't say it was the parents' fault or the grandmother's fault. And in terms of option wise, I again, from my perspective, it's just so much when it comes to a household. And then too, you have to think of too, being a mom and just a single mom and not having that father in a household, that father figure, or in a healthy way, that can play a part. It's so many components to this, in my opinion. It's just so many components to this that when you say having an option, sometimes some kids, you don't give them an option and they still do what the heck they want to do.
And because there's no consequences, that means he had an option.
The heck what they want to do. Some of them just
okay. And if they do what they want to do and there's a consequence behind it, let them take the consequence. Usually,
so let them go ahead and roll the dice on whatever they risk.
But they need to be okay with the decision and the consequences of their action.
Yeah, the possible outcome. And it doesn't necessarily mean that possible outcome could be unfavorable. It could, because some of them, like, screw you parents, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm gonna do. My parents didn't support me, and I'm doing it my way. I'm taking over, I'm taking control, and this is my life. And then the outcome would be better, and the outcome may be in their favor. And so now the relationship is strained because the parents didn't support them, because they're saying our options and this is what we're gonna do. This is no, you're not.
Like I say, in any relationship, there's dynamics, you know. In anything you do, it's just like going to the theme park. You know, they're gonna tell you how much it costs to ride this ride. Either you're gonna pay the fare or you're not. That's an option that you have. But if you're not gonna pay the fare, you don't get to ride the ride for free, because you don't feel like paying the fare. Your outcome is you're not gonna enjoy the ride because you chose not to pay the fare.
Or you can choose to pay the fare and ride it, and the outcome will be favorable. It goes back to decisions. It goes back to options and decisions. You
can choose to pay the fare, ride the ride, and don't like it.
Yeah, and it goes back to options and decisions. But that person made that, and who supported that. In my opinion, with CoCo situations, is you don't want to rock. You want to pick and choose your battles, because at a certain point in time in life, these young adults, which are kids or whatever, that's their life.
They grown.
They're grown.
I agree. He's grown. And grown people do what? Grown people take care of themselves.
Right. That is true.
So if you're grown, I expect you to behave as an adult, meaning you don't need me. Because grown people take care of themselves. You cannot straddle the fence.
Yeah,
I don't want you to be a kid one day and then be grown tomorrow. Either you're going to be a kid today, and if you're a kid today, these are the rules that I bestow on kids. If you're going to be grown today, these are your rules. You make them up, but you need to be able to take care of yourself and provide for yourself. You can't be a kid and be grown at the same time. You're straddling the fence. And that's the confusion that they're having now. Mm-hmm. You let them be a kid, but then you let the kid make grown folks' decisions. So they want to be a grown today and a kid tomorrow. How does that work? How are you not raising and enabling a kid, you know, for
I think in some situations you can guide the young adult in some situations, not all.
And that's why they're confused.
No, it's not. Because I believe it can be a compromise, meaning, okay, this is the agreement. Okay, you choosing this, but this is the agreement. It could be a compromise. Well, I expect A, B, C, D, you know, and if they're agreeing to it, then that's what it is. But,
okay, so if there's no consequences, if they agree to it and there's no consequences, why would they go through with it?
No. My point is that, like, it can be a compromise saying, okay, you know, we're having a situation or conversation. You want to make this choice. I don't think that's the best choice for you. But as long as you're living in my house, this is what I require, A, B, C, D. But at the same time, it can be a compromise and say, well, I'll give you a month or two. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna, I'm throwing my hands up. You're on your own with this. And then
and what happens after a month or two?
And that's what I'm getting to. And then after that, a month or two, or if you need an SOS from me, then I can't be there for you because this is the decision that you're making. And then it goes to, and that's like the compromise. However, but if it gets too rough, extremely too rough, then okay, I'll throw you I'll wave the white flag just a little bit to help you in that situation. You know, if it's,
so who
it just
determines
depends.
when it's
It's
too rough?
situational. For me, it's situational because I'm just the type, I like to try to be diplomatic about it. And then at a certain point, that's when all gloves are off if it's not being received, especially after we'd had this diplomatic conversation and we're both understanding what's expected, giving and receiving, and coming together and saying, hey, I don't like this, but hey, if you're going to do it this way, this is how I'm going to play my part. And then come back around.
Your diplomatic discussion is gaslighting, because inevitably, let me speak, inevitably, at the end of the day, whatever you say still goes. So why even pretend that this diplomatic conversation means something?
Because it could go the opposite way and work out in their favor. And it's like, hey, I told you I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I told you this will be, so hey, and you know what? You sure did. And hey, I wasn't rocking with it. I didn't think you was gonna do it. But hey, so because and a lot of our parents are not right about everything.
They're not.
We're all human. We all kind of do our own thing. We all were kids and young adults once upon a time in our life. And just because an adult says, hey, this is the route you should go, all traditions are not traditions for everyone to take up or to keep it going. So I mean, that's just I guess
you already know. I know
adults
are not right. Adults are not right. All adults are not right. But my point is, the option, you give them an option, they're going to take the option. But whatever option that they take, they need to be able to deal with the consequences of that option. Right. That is the bottom line that I'm always making.
And that's fair. And that's not, and it doesn't necessarily mean the consequences is going to be adverse to the child or to the young adult. It may not be. Just let them go ahead.
I never said it was, the outcome could be good or bad, but you need to be able to deal with either way. And your option does not include me taking care of you the rest of your life.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about towards the end. And I think they're going to continue that next week with Tiny. XSCAPE versus SWV in terms of who's going to headline. I don't know like too much about how that goes in the entertainment business, but it was funny how SWV, one of the members was like, hey, we sold 30 million. We paved the way for you all, so like basically bow down, bitches, like what?
Well, this is a whole case of the aunties versus the great aunties, and it's to me, it's almost a respect thing. I really think at the end of the day, they should just split everything equally, They
were saying co-head, co-line,
right. I think they should split everything equally. SWV did pave the way. They did sell more copies of their albums than XSCAPE, but XSCAPE is relevant today.
Yeah,
XSCAPE got two members that always trend.
Yeah, they're more so connected with younger age groups too, because they've been on social media, and then their kids too.
Two members that trend right now. Absolutely. Nobody was really, well, especially in this generation, nobody knew who SWV was until most of this came out anyway, because they're trending now.
No, actually because of the verses, when they did the verses.
Again, because they're trending now. So this is the social media age, But prior to that, the SWV getting on social media, nobody knew who they were. Nobody knew who they
Only
were.
Our
but
age
us.
Group, yeah.
But
right.
us.
Absolutely.
So like I say, it ain't nothing but the aunties versus the great aunties. Everybody should just split it equally.
But who brought it up?
Headline it, share it, because you wouldn't have brought it up.
Candy be about her money. She brought it up. Tamika was like, "Man,
I ain't mad at her."
But I think
at least I'm with Candy, and let me get that out the way so I'll know what to expect.
The elephant in the room, because these conversations we gotta have, because we're going on Twitter together.
Especially if they're doing business.
Absolutely.
So I need to know what the money is, and of any business, you will be a
where
fool.
Where the money reside. Where the money reside.
From the clip that I seen, I figured that Candy was thinking that they should get a bigger cut because they headline their own tours, but this ain't really one of them. So I think, you know, they should all just split it down the middle.
Yeah,
that would be it a day between all the members that perform, and it is what it is.
Right.
And when they make their own tours, they break out on tour. XSCAPE a headline their own personal tour and maybe bring SWV along, then XSCAPE and get the headline, you know, fee or whatever. And if XSCAPE does the same thing, I mean, SWV comes out with their own tour and want to bring XSCAPE along, then, you know, SWV get the headline fee or whatever. But right now they're trying to collaborate. If you're saying we're collaborating, just make it equal. Yeah. You not
be a
better
collaborative
than me, I ain't
tour.
better than you. Yeah. Let's split this shit equally and keep it moving, you know? But like I say,
it's gonna be interesting
aunties
to see
versus the great aunties, they'll be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens on the next episode, because it looks like the ladies in SWV, they were pretty heated, like they felt insulted and disrespected. So they're like, wait a minute, this is what we doing? Oh, absolutely not. They don't lost their mother.
Because but from what I can see, it looks like SWV went in the meeting trying to be amicable anyway. They want to be fair.
Yeah, they were.
They want to be fair.
Diplomatic.
But for somebody to bring up, well, I did this and I did that, that's that juvenile petty stuff.
Yeah, and Kandi said, well, my tour, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, she didn't say my tour.
And it's not her tour.
Yeah, and they like, wait a minute, trigger words. She triggered them with the way she, and Tamika did say, Tiny Tamika said that made the wording, you know, I guess that what Kandi be about our money, and I believe that stems from people taking advantage of Kandi.
Could be.
So she's
but
all
she's
about
headlined her own tour for so long. She has to figure out how to collaborate,
especially with some vets that's multi-million-dollar. You know,
she just has to figure. It's been the Kandi show for how many years? It's just her. So why wouldn't she want to take the lead in it being my show? Not that she's right or wrong, but that's probably her thing.
When you say the Kandi show, meaning like what? Because she ain't the singer, but you know, like she ain't the singer.
No, I'm just saying the amount of time that she's been relevant. Kandi put out albums, she wrote songs, she did plays, she did restaurants. She did everything.
The Housewives of Atlanta. That's when she really got into social media.
It wasn't Kandi and everybody, or Kandi plus somebody. Every move Kandi made over the last few years has been for her.
Yeah, for her and her family. Yeah, I agree. But Tamika, she don't get it twisted. Tamika Tiny, she made moves for her and her family as well. So they've always stayed close, but they always been bosses and making moves behind the scenes. Both of them. They did a lot of writing, Tiny and Kandi, for Destiny's Child, from my understanding. So they've always been in the industry. And then Tiny was really on reality TV way before Kandi. But I get your point. I see your point. Well, let's go ahead.
It has nothing to do with SWV. That's all I was gonna say. Look, what they've done.
Let's go ahead and
socially wise, we're talking about a collaboration. We're talking about a collaborative tour. So if I say, oh, let's do a collaboration, and you come to me and say, well, I need to get paid more money because I think I'm more famous than you, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
How about this? I just do it on my own, you know. But
and you keep headlining your tours.
Right. You keep headlining your tours, girl. You got that all day. That's all you boo.
All right, you guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you drop a comment, like, share, subscribe to the mix, like, share, subscribe. Thank you, Amashae, for tuning in. We're gonna have to connect and link up again. Do you want to share your information where people can follow you or find you, and go from there? You have
no, not at this time, but I need y'all to interact. Let us know your opinion about anything we said today.
Absolutely.
Leave some messages in the comments.
Yes. Like, share, comment. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the mix. Thank you, Amashae. I will talk to you guys soon. We will talk to you guys later. Soon. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye-bye.